Hello, today we are going to go and discuss the difference between a nonstick pan and a regular pan. A nonstick pan, you genuinely cannot use metal utensils on it, otherwise you'll scratch it. And if a scratch does form, throw it away immediately. There's no fixing it. The scratch will have a high chance of breaking off pieces of the nonstick coating in little chunks, and genuinely kill you if you try to eat it. The only reason why nonstick is a good thing to have is if you know how to take care of it properly. While a regular pan, you can use metal utensils, plastic, whatever on it. Nonstick pan, they're a little bit more fragile. Do not use metal on it under any circumstances. And if you ever do use metal on it, do not scrape it against the edge, bottom, nothing. Metal is not good for nonstick pans because you'll scratch it. They are fragile. And if when you're washing them, never use a scrubby pad or anything on them because nonsticks do not need them. All they need is a gentle rag if there is anything on them. Gentle rag, like a towel or anything. Never use a scrubby pad on it. And if you're saying your nonstick pad you have to, your nonstick pan has been ruined by your own doing. Your nonstick pan is no longer a nonstick pan. You can use butter and stuff on your nonstick pan just fine. It's just you're adding flavor. You're not actually really doing anything else other than that. Nonstick pans never, and I can't emphasize this enough, never scratch them. If your nonstick pans are scratched, they're garbage now. I can hear some of you saying, well, my nonstick pan is scratched and I still use it. That's fine. You're just at risk of eating metal if you do that. The reason why nonstick pans are safe, however, is like I said, if you take care of them correctly. I know I might sound like I'm ranting, but if you lived in my house and with my family, you'd understand. But nonstick pans, if you're going to wash them, like I said, just use a rag to gently wipe it after you've rinsed it off and it's cooled down. Don't take a scrubby sponge, a Brillo pad, nothing to scrape it, unless that's all you have, but be very gentle not to scratch it. The nonstick coating is just a few atoms thick on there, and if you scratch that off, every scratch on there will have a chance of having something stick to that scratch or to that scratch area. You have taken off the nonstick coating, and it is no longer a nonstick pan. What you have there is not a conventional pan either. It is garbage. Do not scratch your pans. Do not, I can't emphasize this enough, do not let your nonstick pan get scratched. If it's scratched, throw it away. There's no argument there. You're going to end up breaking a piece of the nonstick Teflon off, a huge chunk eventually, and you're going to end up eating it and get a crunchy spot in something that's not supposed to be crunchy and then end up dying. There's no argument, I'm sorry. There's no room to argue on that. You're just going to end up getting hurt and or dying. The difference between the two is one has this very thin coating of a nonstick solution on it that hardens and dries. Nothing can stick to that, and if something's sticking to your nonstick pan, it's no longer a nonstick pan. You have to throw it away, get a new one because you washed it wrong. When you're washing them, do not use soaps or detergents. You can use a very light, gentle soap if you need to. But other than that, do not use cleaner on it. That will ruin the nonstick coating. Don't know how many times I've had to explain this to my family. Do not continue using a nonstick pan. That is garbage and trash. Throw it away, get a new one, take care of your next one better. If you keep saying, well, they just do that, no, they do not. There is no way a nonstick pan should have scratches on it. You're supposed to use the plasticware if you have a nonstick pan. If you have a regular pan, however, you can use metal or plasticware. except you always have to put oil or butter or something in there. However, never, I can't emphasize this enough, never use metal on a nonstick pan, because it'll ruin it, make it garbage. There's no argument, throw it away. No room for an argument, never has been, never will be. Sorry, not sorry, it is garbage. If you get a pan from your family's house and they say it's nonstick, but it doesn't, only has nonstick coating here and the rest of it is like this, it's not nonstick. They took off the entire nonstick coating. That nonstick coating will keep things from sticking to the pan, but once that's gone, things will start sticking to that pan. If you have someone telling you it's fine, I always used it like this, nothing will happen, don't eat their food. There's no question. Don't eat their food. Don't even think about eating their food. They're going to end up killing someone or even themselves one day by using this. If you say, I've been using it for years and nothing has happened, you got lucky, or you end up seeing metal and picking it out every now and again. Don't continue using a nonstick pan. That is garbage. This nonstick pan right here, not sure if you can see it with the light, but there's scratches all over it. This is garbage. My mother used metal. Scratched up, it's garbage. This nonstick pan is a new one to replace that one, which I'm going to throw away. Do not use metal on your nonstick pan. If you have to use oil on your nonstick pan, otherwise stuff will stick to it, it's not a nonstick pan, it's garbage. Because every little scratch on there that you see, if you were to go it the wrong way, you would end up breaking a huge chunk of the nonstick coating off. If you end up just scratching it off, it'll be garbage. You just ruined it. Only use plasticware on these. Never use metal, because this is what's going to happen. Plasticware, only received plasticware. It is decent and good still. We've had these two pans the same amount of time. My mom used this a few times, and this is what happened. Only I used this. These are the same age. They're both like 2, maybe a year old. Mine is good, because I took care of it correctly. My mom's is garbage. As you can see, both the bottoms are all messed up and scratched from moving it on the little thing, the element. My mother's is garbage, mine is good. If you take care of yours, it'll turn out good. If you take care of yours like my mother, it'll be garbage. Not bashing anyone who does that, I'm just telling you, it's no longer safe to eat off of this one. And my mom knows it, she just doesn't care. No longer should you ever have a nonstick pan that looks like this. If you do, it is garbage. No arguments. There is no argument for that. I'm sorry. You have made garbage. I know me being blunt about that, not really explaining much, isn't going to help, but if you've taken the same culinary cooking classes I have the same certificates I have, you should know. I am kind of an expert in this field of chef, school, everything. Do not, can't emphasize this enough, do not cook with a garbage pan. That food will be bad. Only because if a chip of metal from your nonstick pan gets chipped off, like my mom's has in the past, you're going to be eating that metal. While a regular pan is perfectly fine to use, scratch up, do whatever, it's fine. That's because you won't be getting chunks of Teflon off of it when you eat. This one, it's not going to do you any bad. There's nothing, there's no coating on this that'll chip off. Only this one will have a coating that'll chip off. This is just a regular pan. Do whatever you want with it. You will, if you use metal, anything on here, you can scrub it, whatever. You'll never get a giant chunk of Teflon or metal in your food, but this one, If you use it and scratch it up, you will eventually get that. I know this is dragging on. I know I've explained this many times. But there's going to be someone out there who still tries to defend using a disgusting, scratched up, disgusting pan. There's still going to be people out there who just want to ignore what I said and what I'm trying to emphasize. Do not use it. It is garbage. Throw it away, get a new one, use it correctly. Washing, if you have a dishwasher, it should be fine if it says it's dishwasher safe. Most are. But make sure when you're washing it, you're not putting it on top of something that'll scratch it when it moves around. Make sure when you're washing it in a sink, if you use a sink, to use a rag, not a scrubby pad. And if you do have to use a scrubby pad, make sure the scrubby pad's soft and whatever. Do not use hard soap. If you do have to use soap, use a very minimal amount and use literally almost nothing. Nothing should stick to this pan, and if stuff is sticking to the pan, it's time for a new one, time to throw it out. These should have the same shelf life as these. The only reason why these don't is because no one knows how to take care of them properly. Like I said, this one and the one over there, they're both a few years old, got them around the same time. It's just mine, a lot cleaner, a lot better. It's perfectly fine. My mom's complete garbage. She didn't go to the same school I did. She just learned this stuff later on in life and just never cared. She's gonna one day end up eating a chunk of metal and she's gonna get really hurt. And she knows this, she just doesn't care. I'm not gonna force anyone to do this, just keep in mind you're gonna hurt someone or even yourself, and I hope you have a nice evening.